The lens weren't deep enough. The flash wasn't bright enough. This had to be before the stabbing, his lies and deceit, the late night wondering of whose sheets her husband was staining. Because hers was empty and cold, alone, shit. She was used to that. But this was before then. It was when life was great, one can say, but I see right through the wrinkle and the slant of her dark lips. The cigarette stained them, smoking since 14 because even then her burdens were big. Big enough to try to shake or erase with this half-ass smile that only Kodak could capture. But I see right through them shining eyes, cause the tears left watermarks on her cheeks and her body posture seems bent and beat, and I knew she stood tall. Maybe this was after the late night phone calls, the perfume on his collar, the bites in his belt buckled and dented by other women's teeth. Right after he slapped her, yeah, she fought back, but a shove, weighed against a jab, that ain't no match. The black and blues hidden like her desire for something better. They colored her back like states on maps of the home she once knew. And she thought things would get better. But the North only sheltered broken promises and broken dreams. To hell with you Southern bells. And she thought otherwise. Too much pride to go back home, too strong to stay beating, but she stayed weak like her stance, distant like her legs and heavy like her knees. The weight of the world she held on the ball of her feet to keep her grounded. And the preacher spoke for better or for worse. Worse must have fell on deaf ears. Worse was just the word with no emotions. Worse was the 1-inch font at the bottom of the infomercial, the part of a contract that no one understands, but we're usually too prideful or too hopeful to ask for a second opinion. All she knew was better. All she hoped for was better. All she wanted was better, because nothing could be worse than to be deprived of identity. Constant ridicule because her hair didn't retain enough moisture or her skin wasn't of fair complexion. A repeating protocols of subjecting the woman she was to become with wide-eyed smiles and slouched shoulders, no eye contact of yes ma'am and no sir of belittled stature, because to them she was just a girl. No matter her age, no matter her burden, she was just a colored girl. And at 14, her burdens were big. She was more than colored, more than a girl. She said, I do. Hoping for better, because nothing, I said nothing, could be worse. But she knew nothing of a broken heart. Or loving a man so deep that you lose yourself so bad, you become one, a Mr. and Mrs. Her name stolen like her decision to trust in him. She didn't know of staying late at the office excuses, or she's just a friend of cars, or satin panties 2 sizes small found in glove compartments of cars she paid for. And she wore cotton, the same cotton she picked with hands, used to plait her sister's hair, to carry fruits picked off tall fallen trees, to embrace her children, to caress her husband, to cook, to clean, the same jeans that carry papers filled with merit for divorce. Ego-busting evidence and heavy revelations. Mary, 212-722-0312, and her name was Jean. Every number represented a year spent in vain, a fucking as it came for keeps. Vagina walls as suction cups, pulling in his penis so tight she tries to inhale his soul, his life, cause maybe if she can just touch him that deep, he won't cheat, or better yet, love her. But candlelight dinners for 2, eaten by 1, became too constant. Finally, strong and tall, she walked away. She knew nothing but failure as a wife, and Kodak couldn't capture that.